Hi everybody, Don the Mushroom Hunter here. It is September 18th and it has been so dry here in Ohio. I can't even remember the last time we had rain, but that doesn't necessarily stop the mushrooms. These chicken of the woods are growing out of a huge stump here. Look how tall this thing is. Um, and even in times of drought, in times where we haven't had rain for weeks, as is the case right now, um, you might not find a lot of mushrooms growing out of the ground, out of the soil, because it's going to be so dry. But stumps and logs hold a lot of moisture. And basically, when I'm out looking for mushrooms, in a dry spell, I'm not even going to bother looking at the ground too much. I'm going to go towards stumps, towards logs. I'm going to try to find, places maybe in valleys where there are dips and gullies and things like that where moisture can collect. But yeah, these chicken of the woods look amazing. I mean, just look at how plump and juicy these things are. Chicken of the woods. I can't say it's my favorite mushroom. They're definitely good. They have I don't know. There's a slight sourness that they're kind of mild with almost like it almost tastes to me like they have a touch of vinegar or something in them. I like them a lot more at this stage when they're young and juicy, and I can just tell that these things are plump and are going to be super tender. Once they start to fan out, once they start to actually look way more like a shelf, they tend to get kind of dry and chalky. The outer edges might be a little bit better. But for me, like, these are prime. I'm gonna take some of these, grab some of these, gonna take some to work and give some away. I'm gonna make some jerky out of these. So polypores in edible polypores in general are pretty good candidates for jerky. And what I like to do is actually slice them up and actually boil them, cook them in the marinade. So, you're not only cooking the mushrooms to make them more edible, and in the case of chicken of the woods, that's extremely important because eating them undercooked can cause severe GI distress. Trust me, I know. So cooking the mushrooms first is going to make them way easier on your digestive system, but actually cooking them in the marinade saves a step. So what I see a lot of people do for jerky is they'll steam or boil the mushrooms first, and this is how I used to do it. I used to steam the mushrooms or boil them, marinate them overnight, and then dehydrate them, which is fine. That works perfectly fine. But what I found is that if I kind of water down the marinade a little bit so it's not so salty, I can boil the mushrooms directly in that marinade. They soak up all of that good flavor and get cooked at the same time. I don't have to let them marinate overnight. I don't have to find room in my fridge for giant bowls of marinating mushrooms. I can just, they can go straight from the marinade right into the dehydrator until they're to the consistency that I'm looking for. So anyway, that's what I'm gonna do with these. Give it a try. And again, like, I know a lot of people get discouraged when it's so dry because it's like you're gonna be looking around and not finding a whole lot, but keep your eyes peeled, look for the logs and stumps. That's where you might find chicken of the woods, or we're getting into a lot of other species kind of prime time as well. Resinous polypore, hen of the woods, these things that are going to be growing on dead trees or at the base of sometimes dead and or living trees. They're going to be out there. Go get them. Happy hunting.